What is up, guys? In this video, we're going to be comparing the Skyrover S1 to the Potensic Atom 2 to find the best value mini drone under $300. And this video is sponsored by Skyrover, but I will be giving my honest findings on which drone wins in each category. So with that said, let's dive right in. First up, we have price. Current pricing from each company's website. The Skyrover S1 comes in at $289 versus the Potensic Atom 2 at $299. So the Skyrover S1 wins on price by a small margin. Next up is size and weight. Both of these drones are nice and small and light, which makes them easy to throw in your bag, carry with you. They don't take up a lot of space or weigh you down if you're on a hike. And just looking at the size of both of these drones, the Skyrover S1 is slightly larger than the Atom 2, but that is kind of canceled out by the fact that the S1 has a lot smaller remote that's a lot more compact than the Potensic Atom 2's remote, which is quite a bit larger and bulkier and also a bit heavier. And both of these drones weigh in just under the 250 gram mark, which means that in most countries they have a lot less restrictions and regulations. And specifically here in the US, it means that you won't have to register either of these drones for recreational use. So pretty similar here between these two drones. We'll call this category a tie. Next up is speed. Again, pretty similar between these two drones. Both drones can hit 35 miles an hour in sport mode. So again, we'll call this category a tie. Next up is battery life. The Skyrover S1 is rated at 40 minutes of max flight time, while the Potensic Atom 2 is rated at 32 minutes. Now, you never get the rated flight time on any drone because flight time is measured in some kind of a controlled environment that doesn't really exist in the real world, and you also don't want to fully drain your battery to zero, so your realistic flight time is usually going to be a bit less. And I tested both of these drones hovering in one spot in the same conditions, and I got 29 minutes of flight time with the Skyrover S1 versus only 22 minutes of flight time with the Potensic Atom 2. So a pretty decent bump in flight time for the Skyrover. I also flew both of these drones roughly the same distance, mostly at the max speed, and when I got back, the Skyrover was around 68% battery, while the Potensic was at 56%. So all in all, major point to the Skyrover S1 in the battery department. Our next category is the video transmission system for these two drones. Now, there's two parts of this: transmission range, how far you can fly away, and the quality of the video transmission, how good the actual feed to your remote is. And for transmission range, I tested this on my standard extreme test course in a completely open environment with no interference. You're going to get a lot longer control range with both of these drones. But the control range was pretty similar on both of these. The Potensic did have a slight edge here. Both started to have the video feed freeze up around 1 mile away on my extreme test course, with the Potensic freezing up a bit later than the Skyrover, and signal lost return to home triggered at about 5,700 feet on the Skyrover versus about 6,900 on the Atom 2. But then the second part of this is video feed quality. And the video feed is much better on the Skyrover S1. All in all, it feels somewhat smoother and sharper than the Atom 2. But the biggest difference between these two drones' video transmission systems is lag. The video transmission on the S1 feels basically instant. As soon as you do something on the remote, you instantly see the feed of the drone responding to your input. Whereas the Atom 2 has a pretty noticeable lag, which is kind of frustrating. It just makes the experience of flying the drone quite a bit worse, and it can even potentially be something that makes you more likely to crash, because if you are flying up and a tree branch pops out in front of you, you have less reaction time to be able to stop the drone or fly around it. And another thing I've experienced with the Atom 2 is that it will occasionally have just random dropouts where the video feed will randomly freeze even though you're fairly close to the drone, whereas I haven't had anything like that happen with the Skyrover S1. So all in all, video transmission system is a tie, with the Potensic Atom 2 having slightly longer control range, but the Skyrover S1 having a lot less lag and better video feed quality. And I'll personally take less lag and a better quality feed all day long over slightly longer control range, especially because in normal conditions, both of these drones have more than adequate control range. Next up is tracking. Both of these drones can lock onto a subject and track it, and they both do a pretty good job, but they also both have their own unique strengths and limitations. The Potensic Atom 2 can track subjects from behind or to the side. However, when tracking from behind, it won't let you enable tracking unless the drone is angled angled at least 25 degrees above the subject. This really limits the angles of shots that you can get, and it makes it so you have to fly quite high up, which can make it easy to run into overhead obstacles when you're tracking. I personally prefer lower angle tracking shots many times, so this is a major limitation, one that I find very annoying, and one that I can find no logical reason for why they would have imposed it. The drone also won't let you enable tracking if the drone is less than 13 feet above the ground, but I find that to be a pretty reasonable limitation. And in side tracking mode, it won't let you enable tracking if you're at a different altitude than where you took off from, so if you go just 10 or 20 feet up or downhill from where you took off, side tracking won't work at all, making it somewhat marginally useful. On the other hand, the Skyrover S1 only requires the drone to be 9 feet off the ground to enable tracking, which I think is quite reasonable. It helps to not run into the ground or whatever. And it doesn't have any limitation on the angle that you can track from. However, it does limit you to tracking human subjects, and you can't track cars. It also lacks sideways tracking, but I feel like that's pretty reasonable given that you're extremely likely to crash when tracking sideways with either of these drones because they don't have any side obstacle avoidance. And with tracking enabled, the Skyrover S1 also limits you to 4K 30 frames per second instead of 60 frames per second, and disables obstacle avoidance as well, but I can't count that too much against it when the Atom 2 lacks those features entirely. So all in all, tracking between these two, the Atom 2 has a couple more tracking features, but for the features that it does have, the Skyrover S1 has a lot better tracking experience with a lot less bugs and weird limitations than the Atom 2. So all in all, I'd say this category is a tie. Next up is obstacle avoidance. The Skyrover S1 has little infrared sensors here on the front that give it forward-facing obstacle avoidance as well as downward obstacle avoidance so you don't slam into the ground. The Potensic Atom 2, on the other hand, does have a little black thing here that would make you think it has some kind of obstacle avoidance, but it entirely lacks obstacle avoidance except for downward sensors that do keep it from hitting the ground. And here I've got the Skyrover S1 pointed directly at me. I can fly it straight at myself with obstacle avoidance enabled, and it will stop a few feet away from me and won't run into me. I've got the stick pushed all the way forward, but it's just sitting here because obstacle avoidance is keeping it from hitting me. Versus the Atom 2, if I fly it toward myself, it will not stop, and I've got to jump out of the way to avoid getting hit because it doesn't have any obstacle avoidance at all. So again, major point to the Skyrover S1 for having obstacle avoidance. There are not very many drones at this price point that have obstacle avoidance at all, and even though it's only forward facing, it definitely can save you from some crashes as a beginner. Next up is prop noise. How loud is each of these drones? I measured the volume of both of these drones at about arm's length away, and the Skyrover S1 comes in at a pretty quiet 58 decibels, whereas the Potensic Atom 2 is quite a bit louder at 66 decibels. So all in all, point to the Skyrover S1 for being 8 decibels quieter. Our next category is hyperlapse. The Skyrover S1 has a hyperlapse or time-lapse feature where the drone will fly through the air while shooting a time-lapse, and that lets you get some absolutely epic motion time-lapses of clouds developing and all sorts of cool things. The Potensic Atom 2, on the other hand, entirely lacks this feature. Hyperlapse functionality is something that you'll usually find on a lot more expensive drones, and as far as I know, the Skyrover S1 is the cheapest drone to have it. And hyperlapse actually works surprisingly well on this thing. It takes all the photos for the hyperlapse and then spits out a 1080p full HD video of the fully assembled and stabilized hyperlapse, and you can also have it give you the original RAW or JPEG photos from the hyperlapse to assemble yourself in post for even better quality. So major point to the Skyrover S1 for having what I'd consider a pro level feature in a budget drone. The next category is the image sensor size of the camera. In general, the bigger the image sensor, the better your photo and video quality. Now, both of these drones have a 1/2 inch sized image sensor, so we'll call this category a tie, and both of these drones should, in theory, have pretty similar image quality, but we'll see if that's actually the case. Next up is focal length, or how zoomed in or wide angle the camera is. The Skyrover S1 has a 24mm focal length versus the Potensic Atom 2, which has a slightly tighter 26mm focal length. I much prefer to have a wider camera because you can always get a little bit closer with your drone, but many times, for example, if you're filming a waterfall or something, you just can't get any further back, or you're limited to how high you can get. For example, example, by the FAA's 400-foot height limit. And if you have a tighter camera, you just can't get as wide of a shot. So all in all, I prefer the 24mm focal length of the Skyrover S1. Next up is video resolution and frame rates. The Skyrover S1 shoots 4K video at up to 60 frames per second versus the Potensic Atom 2, which maxes out at 4K at 30 frames per second. The extra 60 frames per second capability on the S1 makes it so that you can shoot in full 4K quality and slow your footage down to half speed if you want to get slow motion footage of fast action or something like that. I'll often film in 60 frames per second with my drones in general, just in case I want to slow the footage down, so it's super awesome that the Skyrover S1 has that feature. And while both of these drones shoot 4K video, there is actually quite a bit of difference in the quality of the footage between these two drones. The footage out of the Atom 2 looks kind of grainy and not super detailed and way over sharpened to make up for that lack of detail. Whereas the Skyrover S1 has a lot better quality footage, it doesn't have any of that graininess or lack of detail, and you can also adjust the amount of sharpening and noise reduction that the drone applies on the Skyrover S1, which is a big win. So all in all, on video resolution, frame rate, and quality, big win to the Skyrover S1. I'm quite impressed with how good of a camera they managed to put on the Skyrover S1 for the price. I really wasn't expecting that much out of a $289 drone, but the footage out of this to me actually strikes me as very usable, and it has one of the best cameras I've ever seen on a sub $300 drone. Our next category is video colors and dynamic range. I really don't love the colors out of the Potensic Atom 2. Now you can get okay quality video and decent colors out of it if you really know what you're doing and know how to color grade the footage, but straight out of the drone, the colors really don't look great, and it's also somewhat lacking in dynamic range, or in other words, how bright and dark areas you can see at the same time. The Skyrover S1, on the other hand, has a lot better straight out of camera colors, and it also has somewhat better dynamic range and overall better image processing. Now, the Potensic Atom 2 does have a flat log color profile that they added since I first reviewed the drone, and I did test that out, but the flat log color profile on this drone is honestly not that good. It didn't seem to capture any more dynamic range than the normal color profile, and by the time I added contrast and saturation to make it look like normal color profile again, it almost looked worse than the normal color profile. So even though the Atom 2 does have that, I wouldn't say it's really an advantage. So all in all, in the color and dynamic range category, the Skyrover S1 wins by quite a bit. And if you want to see my settings to get the most cinematic footage with the Skyrover S1, I've put them into a free PDF checklist, and link to that is down in the description. Next up is photos. I'm more of a video guy than a photo guy myself, but both of these drones have 12 and 48 megapixel resolution photo modes, and they both shoot raw DNG photos, which lets you edit the photos a lot better than just shooting JPEGs. And here you can see a photo from each drone. So all in all, I'd say photos are a tie. Next up is video bitrate and codec. Now this may sound like real camera nerd stuff, but it is pretty important to how good of videos you're going to get with either of these drones, and I'll try to break it down simply. The Skyrover S1 has 125 megabits per second max bitrate at 4K 60 frames per second, and an 85 megabits per second max bitrate at 30 frames per second, which is high enough to give you good quality video. Plus it also has H.265 video encoding, which gives you better quality with the same file sizes. The Potensic Atom 2, on the other hand, only has a maximum of 55 megabits per second bitrate, and it lacks H.265 encoding, which makes the video quality significantly worse. One specific area where this will sometimes show up is if you're panning across the footage or have a lot of motion in the frame, especially if there's a lot of detail like tree limbs or tree leaves. Sometimes you'll get this weird smearing effect in the footage with the Atom 2, whereas the Skyrover S1 doesn't have any of those kind of issues because of the better video encoding. So all in all, point to the Skyrover S1. Next up is drone controller. Both of these drones have a controller where you just attach your phone to the controller, but I much prefer the controller from the Skyrover S1 to the one from the Atom 2. With the Skyrover controller, you just pull out this little thing from the top, up, you can just very quickly and easily just set your phone in here, pull it out, pop it in, and then you just plug the cable here into the bottom of the phone and you're all good to go. Whereas with the Atom 2 controller, you have to put your phone here in the middle, which I find kind of awkward to do. And you also have to, you can see here I'm struggling, you have to kind of pull this out and plug it in like this before you put it in. And then you have to stick it in here and pull the controller apart. And it does work all right, but it's just a lot more awkward to get your phone in there. And also, I don't love just how big and wide this controller is versus this controller that is a lot more compact, even when you have a phone on top of it. And maybe it's I'm just more used to this type of controller, but I just find it much more ergonomic to hold and use a controller like this versus one that's a lot wider like this. So all in all, point to the Skyrover S1. And then our final category is overall user experience. The Skyrover S1 has had a great user experience. It's very smooth, streamlined. The app all works the way it's supposed to. I haven't encountered any weird bugs or limitations or things that just don't work the way they should. The same, unfortunately, can't be said for the Potensic Atom 2. When I was reviewing it, I was quite frustrated by quite a few different things. Just a few of those are that when you turn the drone off and back on again, you lose your camera settings, which is very frustrating if you just want to swap out a battery and start a new flight. I don't want my camera settings to be gone when I turn the drone off. It'll also put the camera into a low power mode until you take off, and it won't let you start recording before you take off. It's a minor annoyance, but I don't know why that needs to be the case. The Skyrover S1 has no such limitation. And there's also things like the active track limitations that I already mentioned on the Atom 2, as well as overall just more bugs and a less smooth user experience. So again, gotta give major point to the Skyrover S1. So final thoughts between these two drones. The Skyrover S1 wins in basically every category, and it's even cheaper than the Potensic Atom 2. So between these two drones, the Skyrover S1 is the pretty clear winner, and in fact, I'd give it the title of the new best beginner drone under 300 bucks. And I'm not just saying this because the video is sponsored by Skyrover. This little drone has really impressed me, and I was actually surprised to what a degree it destroyed the Potensic Atom 2. This drone honestly punches above its price range with features and quality, especially with things like obstacle avoidance and hyperlapse that are usually reserved for more expensive drones. And aside from specs and features, one last great thing is that Skyrover includes a 30-day replacement policy with the S1, so you're not stuck if you're a beginner and something goes wrong with the drone early on. So yeah, if you want to pick one of these up, link to it is down in the description. Thank you to Skyrover for sponsoring this video. And if you want to learn how to get the most cinematic shots with whatever drone you have, you can click right here to watch a video on that. And as always, if you've enjoyed this video, make sure to subscribe so you don't miss future videos like it, and I'll see you in the next video.